While driving, the woman had an argument with her daughter. Unfortunately, she ended up rear-ending the car in front of her. Watching the damaged bumper swaying, she immediately felt a surge of anger. As a single mother raising 3 kids on her own, she could already imagine the cost of the car repair. On top of that, the compensation she would need to pay would surely be a significant expense. A thoughtful man, seemingly aware of her distress, stopped and crouched down. Not only did he not ask for compensation, but he also offered to help the woman. And didn't like interacting with strangers, was today chatting and laughing with someone he had just met. However, what he didn't know was that this wasn't the first time they had met. 2 hours earlier, Jack had already come to the house. At that time, Annie had gone to pick up her daughter from school, and while wandering around, her son had met Jack by a nearby lake, seeing him fishing, and since Jack shared the same interest, they had a brief conversation about fishing. This was why they were now working together so comfortably. After securing the bumper back in place, just as Jack finished, the sky unexpectedly opened up with heavy rain. Jack had to take shelter inside Annie's house temporarily. Noticing that it was getting late, Jack was preparing to say his goodbyes, but at that moment, the rain grew even louder. Watching the children carefully place containers under every leak in the roof to catch the water, Jack felt a pang of sadness. When Annie walked into the door, Jack hesitated to reveal the real reason he had come. Just as he was about to gather his courage, the sound of the children's voices interrupted him, and in the end, he couldn't bring himself to tell Annie the truth. As he passed the doorstep, he parked his car on the side of the road and put a yellow envelope in the mailbox. Inside the envelope was several $1 million, enough to ensure that this family would never have to worry about money for the rest of their lives. But why didn't he hand the money directly to Annie? The reason was that the envelope contained something that might hurt Annie, something from the past. 5 years ago, Jack had met a like-minded friend, who happened to be Annie's late husband. The two of them had worked together on academic research and had completed an invention. But before the patent for the invention could be approved, Annie's husband died in a plane crash. Now, Jack had come because the patent had been approved, and the reward money was being distributed. But when he saw Annie's current situation, Jack couldn't bring himself to tell her the truth. He couldn't bear the thought of causing her more pain. So, he left the envelope in the mailbox, hoping that one day they would receive the money, but without the burden of knowing its true source. That night, the weather worsened, and the mailbox was blown away by the strong winds. When Jack left the town the next morning, feeling uneasy, he came back to check. The yard was a mess. The roof even had branches poking through. Hearing the sound of a car engine, Annie came out. After what had happened the day before, Annie no longer felt as suspicious of Jack's kindness as she did the first time they met. Looking at the hole in the roof, Annie roughly estimated that repairing it would cost at least $5,000. Over the following days, Jack and Annie began to develop a different kind of connection.